Good morning. I have no idea what happened to my thing. It just froze up. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my God, it's Memorial Day. And I know everybody likes to say, well, some people say Happy Memorial Day. But Memorial Day is a day of remembering all the veterans that lost their lives during the wars. And people do barbecues. They're at the lake, they're having fun, but we need to remember the people that lost their lives fighting for us. Now, Memorial Day was established after the Civil War, and it was formalized as a federal holiday in 1971, and it's dedicated to those who died in military service. The flags are at half staff. People lay wreaths and stuff at Arlington Cemetery and at the tombs of the unknown soldiers, at their deceased relatives. So that's how I've always been taught to remember Memorial Day. That's how I've been taught to remember Memorial Day. So again, today is a day of remembrance. Good morning, Savage. I know George is going live this morning, so I'm not going to be here long. But there are a few, my God, they've had some jailbreaks going on. This stuff is just crazy. So I wanted to do, because I didn't put up my flags or anything. And I was thinking this morning, out of all of my relatives that fought in different wars, including my sons, well, they were involved in a war. They were overseas. I haven't lost a relative from either the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, or the Navy. I was thinking about my uncles, my cousins, but I know they've lost comrades or friends, people that they served with. So today is a day of remembrance. Good morning. Let me say good morning. Hi, Gwen. Gwen, I saw this morning that you called me last night. My phone goes on, what is it called? Night mode at a certain time on IG because I actually go to bed. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Chantel, Drea, Minnie, good morning. Wisco Gal, good morning. I don't want to miss. Hi, Savage. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Are you going to do a live today, Savage? Yep, George is going live at 10 o'clock. Well, 10 o'clock my time. George will be live. I saw that this morning. I went to check to make sure I wasn't infringing on anybody's live because I wasn't sure if I was going to do a live this morning or not. Good morning, Ghostface. It's been so long. I haven't lost one relative in the army that I'm aware of, but my great uncle was injured in the arm. Yeah, I thought about that. I have five cousins that served in the Marines. And when I said served, they were on, they would get on the ships, go to the battle. Yeah, so they served. My ex husband, who was a Marine, that was in, what was it? Oh, it wasn't Afghani. What's the war he was in? It was after they invaded Grenada and then they went out. Oh, I can't remember, but he was in there. So the only one I know that didn't go into when he was in, that didn't have to go into battle or go to war torn countries was my first ex husband. So okay, Savage might go live in the evenings. Nope, we're going to talk about those right now. There's 5 out, Savage. There's 5 out, but we have another jailbreak. Guys, we got another jailbreak. This one is coming out of Arkansas. Okay, this one's coming out of Arkansas. We have 4 that escaped out of Columbus. I'm like, what are they doing? Passing kites to each other? Are they passing kites? But this one is an ex-police chief. Let's listen to this one. Oh my God.
News where you live. 5 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking news happening at a prison in north central Arkansas, where an inmate who once worked as a police chief in northwest Arkansas has escaped. According to the Department of Corrections, Grant Hardin escaped from the prison around 3:30 this afternoon. The escape happened at the north central unit near Calico Rock. It's a little over 60 miles east of Harrison. Here's a look at Hardin's most recent mugshot released by the Department of Corrections. He was serving sentences at the prison since 2017 for first-degree murder and rape. Both crimes happened in
first-degree murder and rape from a police chief.
Benton County, where he also worked as a police chief in the town of Gateway. This surveillance photo released by the Stone County Sheriff's Office shows Hardin during his escape. You can see he appears to be wearing a Department of Corrections uniform. Both the murder and rape he's convicted of happened in Benton County, where Hardin also had a history of working in law enforcement and worked as a police chief in Gateway before his arrest. Stone County Sheriff Brandon Long says his department was alerted around 5 p.m. They're assisting the Arkansas Department of Corrections, State Police, and the Izard County Sheriff's Office, which is where the prison is located. Authorities are using every resource available, including drones. The sheriff says the roads leading into Stone County from Izard County are shut down, and they're checking all vehicles. He's encouraging people to stay alert no matter how far away you live from the prison, making sure your vehicles are locked, and if you see something, say something. Calling Hardin extremely dangerous.
I don't feel like he's got a whole lot of choice but to get a vehicle, and now whether he just steals the vehicle or he takes someone hostage with the vehicle is our biggest fear, obviously. That's one reason why we've got the roads shut down leading from Izard County.
Here's a look at Hardin's history. He was the police chief in Gateway, a small town between Bentonville and Eureka Springs near the Missouri state line. He pled guilty to first-degree murder for the shooting of James Appleton. It happened near Garfield in 2017. Hardin's rape conviction was for a separate crime in 1997. DNA evidence was used to identify him as the suspect in the assault of a teacher at a Rogers Elementary School. He eventually pled guilty to that charge as well. The Department of Corrections didn't provide any information about his whereabouts. The Benton County Sheriff's Office released a statement saying they're working closely with the Department of Corrections to locate Hardin due to his strong ties to Benton County. We want to show you photos of Grant Hardin one more time. The Stone County Sheriff's Office says he is extremely dangerous. Anyone who spots him or has any information on where he is should call 911. You can find all the information released today by the Department of Corrections on the free 5 News app. You can find all our coverage of Hardin's past cases.
So we have inmates out of Columbus. Okay. Let, let's look.
Search is still on for the men who escaped a minimum security correctional facility on the southeast side of Columbus late last night.
Law enforcement are looking for these four men: Nico Burton, Jeremy Bowen, Michael Norton, and Mark Long. Now, NBC4 brought you this story as it was breaking last night at 11.
And we have been keeping close tabs on the ongoing search.
NBC4 crime and safety reporter Anna Hoffman has been following it today. She's live from the community-based correctional facility on Alum Creek Drive with the latest. Anna, this is a minimum security facility, right?
Now, when they say minimum security, I know in Texas, when you go to just a minimum security prison, you're either there because you have less than 2 years, well, you have 2 years or less, or you being transferred from a bigger prison because you're about to be, you're going to be released. So this is crazy.
Yes, it is, Colleen, and I should say I just checked in with law enforcement right before this. They tell me they still have not found the four men. They all have warrants out for their arrest, and they are all charged with escape. We are also learning more about what put them in this facility in the first place. These four men are still on the run after escaping from the Franklin County community-based correctional facility Thursday night. Their names are Nico Burton, Jeremy Bowen, Michael Norton, and Mark Long. Detectives tell us the four men escaped by breaking a window. I spoke with Dominique Page, the director of the facility. She says it is minimum security and a diversion program used as a sentencing option, and it is not affiliated with the Franklin County Jail. Norton and Bowen were sentenced to complete this program on parole violations. Burton was sentenced to complete the program on a probation violation, and Long was sentenced to complete the program on a theft charge. Page.
This is not something you escape for. What? What? I know in Texas, minimum it's 2 years or less, maybe 2.5. What are you escaping for? You're going to be out. Jeez.
Says once they are found, the inmates will be terminated from this program and taken to the Franklin County Jail. They will then face the judge who gave them their original sentence to decide what happens next. We have also requested surveillance video from this facility. We are still waiting on that. We will keep you updated on the latest on this search on air and online. Local for you in Columbus, I'm Anna Hoffman, NBC4.
Anna, thank you.
Now to the so-called cryptocurrency king accused of kidnapping.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm going to get back to that. Let's look at New Orleans now. Let's go to New Orleans. Here we go.
And it's been 10 days since 10 Orleans Parish inmates were able to escape. 9 people have been arrested in connection. Reporter Ashley Hamilton speaks to a legal analyst on what they'll be faced with moving forward.
This was 2 hours ago.
5 inmates remain at large after 10 escaped the Orleans Parish Jail Friday, May 16th.
But we're not going to stop looking. We want them to know that.
As law enforcement continues to work every possible lead, 9 people have been charged with aiding the inmates after their escape.
It's a felony. It's a 5-year felony.
Cardone explains, accessory after the fact to simple escape carries a starting sentence of 5 years. However, depending on the evidence in the defense, the sentence could be more severe.
Information as to the backgrounds of individuals that escaped, the backgrounds of the individuals that may have aided and abetted. All of those factors will play into whether or not an individual is going to be sentenced to the maximum that the law allows.
U.S. Marshal Deputy Brian Fair is not ruling out additional arrests and issued a clear warning to anyone assisting the escapees.
If anyone's trying to help them, they could face charges, and those charges are going to be serious. There'll be felony charges.
Cardone explained.
Let me tell you, I called my sister yesterday, right? I'm going to see her tomorrow. I'm going to see my sisters and my friends and cousins tomorrow, right? So I called my sister yesterday. I said, wait a minute, I haven't talked to you. Is everything okay? She said, girl, stop. I said, I thought you were helping aid and abetting these criminals down there. She goes, are you crazy?
Any good lawyer representing those arrested as accomplices will be looking for legal loopholes to help their clients.
You have to determine first whether there's enough facts that would support a conviction. If there aren't enough facts to support a conviction, then you don't want to give any state's evidence.
Not ruling out the possibility that accomplices may cooperate with the government.
To see if there's an opportunity to avoid criminal conviction if my client turns state's evidence. The DA or the Attorney General will recommend to the judge a lighter sentence because that particular individual cooperated.
These criminals.
And speaking of escapees, an accused killer is back in custody after escaping from the Tangipahoa Parish jail just last week. The sheriff's office says Trayvon Johnson was taken into custody Friday along Bennett Road in Inmate.
Well, he did a murder in Hammond, which is outside of New Orleans. Let's look at this again. He committed murder in Hammond area. Attempted, let me see, awaiting trial for 2022 Hammond area murder and attempted murder. So he escaped Telepungo jail on the 22nd of May. What are they passing kites around, telling them, hey, it's time for us to go? This shit is crazy. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. With all these damn escapes.
Friday along Bennett Road in Inmate. Sheriff Gerald Sticker says 4 deputies are now on administrative leave for their actions that may have contributed to the escape.
Covering news where you live.
That's
5
what we know
News.
so far about the New Orleans. So they've arrested, hold on a second. I don't even want to see that because they've arrested workers that have aided and abetting. Now, the guy that helped them, well, they said the guy that went to fix the toilet, he was a part of it. He says no, he just thought he was going to fix the toilet. I don't know if I buy that or not. But we saw all these inmates walking by, watching them trying to open the cells for other people, which was crazy. And no one alerted anybody.
Take a look at your screen as we are following breaking news.
Or the control room. Nobody but the lady that was supposed to be in the control room, she had went to dinner. There's supposed to be, well, I know in Texas, there are 2 people in that control room because my son used to be there before he went overseas. So to me, that's kind of crazy. But we had a mass shooting in South Carolina and 11 people were hurt. And this happened, let me show you, 3 hours ago. Mass shooting. Here we go.
It takes us out to South Carolina. This news just into our live now from Fox Studios on this Memorial Day. The Associated Press reports at least 11 people were taken to hospitals after a shooting Sunday night in a South Carolina beach town. This coming from local authorities. The Horry County Police Department not giving the conditions of.
That's where Micah was found. That's where Micah was found. Horry County. Horry County, Horry.
Anyone heard, nor have they detailed how they were injured in the incident. We're learning it happened around 9:30 p.m. in Little River. Investigators were getting reports of more people arriving at the hospital in private vehicles. Horry County Police confirming this on social media. The Associated Press goes on to report about 90 minutes after the shooting, police called it an isolated incident, saying there is no risk to the community. They did not release any information on possible suspects or what led to the shooting. The shooting happened around a boat dock near the Intracoastal Waterway.
Not a boat dock again. Now, we saw what happened at the boat dock the last time when the hat went off and went up in the air. It was a brawl. Wasn't that South Carolina too? Or was that Alabama? I think that was South Carolina too.
Video from the scene on your screen this Memorial Day shows dozens of police cars and ambulances rushing in and out of the area. A North Myrtle Beach police officer responding to the shooting accidentally shot himself in the leg at a marina about 3 miles away. We are learning that officer is in the hospital in stable condition. Getting that information from North Myrtle Beach spokeswoman Lauren Jesse on this Memorial Day. And just to provide context, Little River is about 20 miles northeast of Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Of course, this is a developing story. This information we are getting this Memorial Day is preliminary, learning at least 11 people are hurt in South Carolina Beach town shooting on this morning. Of course, again, we are learning that investigators reporting that people are in the hospital at this time, also learning that this is an isolated incident. No word of any press conferences by local authorities as we have come through social media, Facebook pages, as well as local police department web IDs. But of course, if we get any updates on this breaking news alert, you'll be the first to know right here on Live Now.
Thank you. Here's the thing. We have to think about this. We could have had 11 people dead. Mayberry. We could have had 11 people dead. It could have been a whole different situation. But we have 11 hurt. They're not saying it's life-threatening. And I was invited to go to the lake out in Idaho, which is like 30 minutes away. And no offense, but when they out there drinking, them white people get crazy. I ain't going out there. I ain't going out there. Not at all. Not at all. I have a trip tomorrow. I'm not going out there. I'm sorry. I'm not going out there. So this is crazy. But I was laughing because Horry County, I have never heard of Horry County until the Micah Miller case. That's when I heard of Horry County. And I was calling, it's called Horry County because the H is silent, but it's Horry. Now, every time I turn around, probably because it's in my algorithm. Let's take a look at what else. They have an updated thing on the search for the prisoners that escaped New Orleans. This was 22 hours ago, and we're going to take a look at that. But I don't know where these 5 people are. I have no idea. But it's best if they get the hell
right now of a massive manhunt to capture 5 inmates still on the run right now as new arrests are
This is the toilet. They pulled it out, though. He thought he was going to repair a toilet, is what he said.
Mounting tonight with 2 more arrested for assisting. WDSU reporter Jasmine Franklin is live, staying on top of all these new developments. And Jasmine, hearing from the crews as well, trying to track tips down right now.
Yeah, Elizabeth, a total of 9 accomplices are now behind bars, all accused of assisting those inmates that escaped from the Orleans Justice Center. This as police continue to search for 5 inmates still on the run tonight. As law enforcement searches for inmates, they are also looking for people accused of helping them. 2 additional accomplices were arrested on Saturday. Court records show Linton Van Buren Sr. and Angel McKee were taken into custody. Van Buren Sr. is charged with accessory after the fact and theft. His bond is set at $1,002,500. McKee is also charged with accessory after the fact and has a $1 million bond.
It's a serious matter. It's not a joke. Some of the people we're dealing with are acting like it's a joke or a Grand Theft Auto game. It's not.
Although it's still unclear what role each accomplice played in assisting the escapees, Linton Van Buren Sr. has the exact same name as inmate Linton Van Buren, who is still on the run.
These are dangerous people. Many of them already have convictions of serious nature. Some of them have pending rape charges. Murder charges, you name it. I mean, they're a dangerous community.
9 days into the search for the remaining inmates, hundreds of law enforcement personnel continue to search. And the U.S. Marshal's Office says, along with the remaining inmates, additional accomplices will likely be taken into custody.
Sterling Williams, Trevon Williams. What's her name? Carvante Baptiste. I know she's not in my family. I got a lot of Baptiste. I don't know who she is. What the name? Courtney Harris, Connie Wheaton, Casey Smith, Emmett Weber. Jesus Christ. Carvante. Who gave you that name? Well, your mother did. But I know you're not in my family.
It may take a little longer than some people expect. It's not as easy as just driving around looking for them. I mean, a lot of them are in hiding or somebody's helping them. So it's going to take some effort, but the work's going to continue with all the agencies that we're working with, and eventually all 5 of them will be found.
And tonight, the U.S. Marshal's Office says they will continue working with other agencies until they find those 5 remaining inmates that are still on the run. If you have any information on the inmates' whereabouts or anyone who would possibly help them, you should call police or Crime Stoppers.
So the jail isn't too far from where my dad lives, okay? My only thing was I was happy that he lives in a secure building. You have to have a passcode to get in. There's security right downstairs. As soon as you open the door, they're right there at the desk. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, yeah.
Reporting live in New Orleans, Jasmine Franklin, WDSU News.
And Jasmine, we're learning some new details on exactly how the 10 inmates escaped the Orleans Parish Jail last Friday. Sources with direct knowledge of the investigation say that the inmates allegedly used electric hair clippers to tear through the wall and were provided rags to cover the barbed wire while climbing over the fence. Sources also say that additional charges for this assistance are expected. So right now, be sure to download our free WDSU app. That is where you will be.
They're doing an all-out manhunt for these criminals. Okay, so then we've got something else. ICE. Excuse me. ICE supposedly stormed a courtroom. Did you guys hear about that? Did anybody hear about ICE storming a courtroom and arrested the judge and everything else? Well, this is coming from Cash Jordan. Well, he's got it from Fox, okay? And I didn't hear anything about this, but
at times, there was pushing and shoving on both sides. Some tried to block the van from leaving. Protesters saying what's happening isn't right.
They think that we're scared of them. They think that we're going to just run off and be scared, but we're not.
So what we've been seeing right now is what we've been seeing all morning. Federal agents waiting outside the immigration court, as you can see right here, putting immigrants or people who were waiting for their asylum case in a van and taking them off. This is what we saw over and over throughout the morning and into the early afternoon. Families going into the Phoenix Immigration Court building for a hearing about their asylum case and leaving in handcuffs.
So, what's happening here? People are going to immigration court. And when the proceedings of the immigration court end, folks, that is playing out. And what the news is not telling us is what happens after these cases are dismissed. Apparently, people who've been living in the U.S. for less than 2 years and entered the country illegally, they could be deported through a process called expedited removal.
We're wearing masks as they took people into custody who were apparently there for their hearings.
There are individuals who are ultimately trying to do the right thing.
So, this sounds like when they're trying, hi T-Love, this sounds like when all these people have warrants and they give them saying that they won some lottery, they have to come and pick it up at this time and they all get arrested. But these people are going to court for their hearings and they're coming out in handcuffs. This is crazy. Hold on.
And that means you are no longer under temporary protected status through the court.
I have a client who says that he feels as though he's going to have a heart attack. His trial is tomorrow, and he is expected to be present.
President Trump has pressured immigration officials to speed up the pace.
Okay, so if somebody has their due process, which we've been told this entire time people aren't getting, when they do get it, and that due process ends in a manner where this person does not have the legal right to stay in the country anymore, people are still upset about it. That's what we're watching right here.
But as long as this continues to happen outside immigration court in Phoenix, they will continue to be here.
In a statement, the governor's office said Governor Hobbs is in support of securing the border with a focus on deporting criminals, but is firmly opposed to indiscriminate round
activity lately because clearly they look like they're waiting.
So the interesting thing about this is every time ICE agents get interviewed, they always talk about how they only do targeted operations. They're not doing indiscriminate roundups. They're not just out there getting people. Here we are on ICE.gov. ICE does not conduct raids or sweeps and does not operate roadblocks or checkpoints. The use of these terms evokes images of indiscriminate targeting of neighborhoods and spreads fear in immigrant communities. ICE focuses its limited resources on those that pose the greatest threat to public safety, and they do not target people indiscriminately. That means the folks getting picked up here are on ICE's radar already for reasons that would probably terrify all of us.
In a Fox exclusive, you're watching an incredibly route to ICE custody.
Let me ask you this question. If they're going to court to get their asylum status and everything else, would criminals go to court to do that? Well, maybe some minor criminals would, but these are families that are in there. What the hell?
California sanctuary state policies.
Bill Asaley is the U.S. Attorney in L.A. and the architect of Operation Guardian Angel.
All right, guys, thanks for circling up.
Asaley has created a federal task force made up of ICE, HSI, FBI, DEA, and ATF agents.
How's his criminal history?
He's got the...
So remember, limited resources. They can only go after the worst of the worst. And that's also what they're doing here in Los Angeles, picking
as illegal reentry. And Asaley's office will immediately seek a criminal arrest warrant against them, which, unlike an ICE detainer, jails and sanctuary jurisdictions can't ignore.
We're going to flood the system with warrants for criminal illegal immigrants that are in county jails.
Well, that's fine. I agree. Okay. You're in jail. Flood it. Get them out. But these are families that are going for their asylum status to court.
And the NYPD is barred from doing that. So what happens? They release these people. LA, it's the same thing. They're releasing dangerous people back into their communities. And this is a way to pick those dangerous people up, in spite of the fact that their jurisdiction wants
ability to arrest a federal felon. They can expect to face consequences for that.
And task force officials tell us once they're up and running at full steam, they project they're going to...
So I guess sanctuary...
To that new video obtained by 12 News just today. It's giving us our first look at the confrontation between a Milwaukee County judge and federal agents inside the county courthouse.
Her actions that day leading to her arrest and
she was
indictment
arrested
in a story that's now gone national. Judge Hannah Dugan is accused of trying to help Eduardo Flores Ruiz evade ICE agents. He was scheduled to be in Dugan's courtroom in a domestic violence case.
12 News Nick
Sounds like a great guy, domestic violence.
For the first time, we're seeing Judge Hannah Dugan outside her courtroom April 18th wearing her black robes, appearing to confront several federal agents there to arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Milwaukee man and Mexican national charged locally with 3 counts of domestic battery.
3 counts?
This video, released by Milwaukee County through an open records request, is part of the evidence in the case against Judge Dugan, who's charged with obstructing a federal investigation, concealing Flores Ruiz, allowing him to leave her courtroom by a different door after sending the agents to speak to the chief judge. Flores Ruiz, dressed in black with his attorney, is seen in several of the videos leaving by that other door. One prosecutors say was used by jurors and not open to the public. As he leaves, though, he is seen in the hallway, followed by another agent. As Flores Ruiz gets into the elevator to leave, the agent slips in as well. According to the criminal complaint against Dugan, that agent followed them down. The agent seen here following out of the building downstairs, and once backup arrived, they tried to arrest Flores Ruiz, who another video shows ran north in front of the courthouse for nearly a block before agents caught up with him and arrested him. Federal agents arrested Dugan herself a week later.
So that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
We've got people all over this country who just do not agree with the idea of dangerous people who shouldn't be here losing their ability to stay here. And that, to me, is very bizarre because this shouldn't be a partisan issue unless, of course, you hate the president who, in your mind, has brought about all this. Even though President Biden deported people, even though President Obama deported millions of people.
Which is prosecuting Dugan about that video released today, whether they signed off on it or were even aware of it. They responded, though, with a no comment.
Nick Bohr live outside the Milwaukee County.
Oh my
Well,
God.
the reason the video's out is because it tells us part.
So we don't want to hear, but yeah.
Accused murderer Trayvon Johnson back in custody, captured Friday night after this audacious escape from a Louisiana jail Thursday. Authorities say this video shows Johnson scaling a fence with help from another inmate before bolting across an open field. His second jailbreak in the past year, ending in about a day. A far cry from the scene playing out in New Orleans. Police there releasing this new video showing teams executing a warrant in tactical gear with rifles in pursuit of 5 inmates still on the lam more than a week after this brazen escape.
The pressure's on, and when the pressure's on, that's when people make mistakes.
Rob D'Amico is a former FBI agent who's worked dozens of fugitive cases.
It can take a while. I've seen actually fugitives, in the FBI arrested them 10, 20 years later.
Officials say the escapees may be reaching out to family and friends for help as the net of alleged accomplices expands. According to court records and local reports, now up to 9 people arrested and charged with either assisting in the initial escape or helping the inmates once out. How big of a factor do you think the family, the friends, the people in the neighborhood will be in this?
It's huge. It may not be a friend, but then a friend of a friend, they saw him, or that this person was doing stuff, getting food that didn't make sense. Police are going through all of that.
The public, now potentially law enforcement's most valuable tool, with time ticking. And more than 200 law enforcement personnel have been working this investigation, officials tell us. And experts say that budgets could become a factor here, specifically how long local agencies can afford to pay the overtime required to keep the search up. Willie?
Priscilla Thompson.
Well, Wendy says there's a major difference in what Trump is doing versus other presidents. When I hear that you're raiding a courthouse for people that are going to find out about their asylum, yes, there is a big difference here. There is a big difference. I guess people don't see that. But we have, I wanted to play this about the crypto guy who kidnapped, oh God. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Hi, sister. Sister, my sister. How are you, my baby? Okay, let's look at the crypto king and see what the hell he's doing. Let's see.
Cryptocurrency king accused of kidnapping and torturing an Italian tourist in New York. Police say it was part of a scheme to get his Bitcoin password, and now another person of interest in the case appears ready to surrender.
Overnight, the New York Post reporting that a Swiss cryptocurrency millionaire sought for questioning in the alleged kidnapping and torture of an Italian tourist in New York will surrender to the NYPD this week. It comes after the arrest Friday of John Waltz, the so-called Kentucky crypto king, who's accused of holding a man hostage for weeks in this New York townhome, beating him, shocking him with electrical wires, and dangling him off a ledge. Officials claim it was all to get his Bitcoin password. Police say the alleged victim told them he arrived in New York from Italy May 6th and went to the suspect's home where he says Waltz took his passport and threatened his life until he was able to escape Friday, running out of the apartment to a traffic officer for help. Police then arresting Waltz, who was barefoot in a bathrobe as they handcuffed him.
I saw like a sort of SWAT team going with the shields. And then shortly after that, I saw a guy in a white robe and handcuffs come out.
Investigators say they recovered a saw, chicken wire, body armor, ammunition, and photos of the alleged victim with a gun pointed to his head. Law enforcement sources say they're looking into whether the Italian man was hired for sex work and whether the two knew each other from the cryptocurrency world. Waltz is charged with kidnapping, assault, and unlawful imprisonment, held without bail over concern he could be a flight risk as owner of a private jet and helicopter.
Waltz is due back in court Wednesday. His lawyer did not comment. The alleged victim was reportedly
Wait a minute. You can't.
Covered in cuts and bruises when he escaped.
Jesus. Doesn't that remind you guys of, what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer? Kidnapping people, they're running through the street. What the hell is going on here? So here he is in court. Hold on.
This upscale New York City townhome, now the site of a high-profile police investigation. Authorities say 37-year-old crypto investor John Waltz and an unnamed accomplice kidnapped and tortured their business partner for weeks.
John, did you kidnap that tourist?
The alleged victim, a 28-year-old man from Italy, targeted, according to investigators, in a twisted...
Anyway, sister, what are you guys doing about this? About these escaped criminals in New Orleans?
Making a bet. Who gonna last and who not gonna last?
I'm not laughing. Do you think I am laughing? Do you think that they're still in the New Orleans area, or do you think they got the hell out of there?
No, my thing is, I think that all the young ones that got caught, there was bait for the older ones that have serious charges. So they let them out because they know their focus would be catching them first because they know they wouldn't have nowhere to go. So that's why they caught them first. You feel what I'm saying? They caught all the youngsters first, the ones. Now, you know, if you break out of jail, you have a plan, right? Yep. Why you got caught on Canal Street where they have face recognition and all that stuff? Why was you on Canal Street? So that was the bait of getting them caught, right? Yep. To let the big ones get away. So all the ones that's left, they are out of this state. You could believe that. They're gone.
They're gone. I really think they're gone.
They're long gone. They are long gone. They had people that accomplished them to go here, there. Them people are gone. See, once all we short staff with police down here, right? Okay. Once everybody went to one scene, because what I think they're doing is playing mind games.
Oh, she dropped. Sister. Oh, sister. She dropped. But guys, there's an update on Sadie Robinson and Maxwell Anderson. You remember the guy that killed Sadie? He's getting ready to go to court. My sister just dropped the hell away. Well, she'll be back. But anyway, let me just show you this as I wait for my sister to get back. And then I'm looking at the time. Oh, there she is. Hold on. There she is. Hold on. Let me get her. Yes, sister.
Oh, I'm back. You can hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Oh, see, once they went to one area to look for them people, that was their escape. See, because they know we less police down here. So they're calling, they give people to call and say that they seen them this way. And when they come to one area, there was another one getting out of here. You get it?
I saw on the TikToks when they had that house surrounded and they had all the SWAT team out there and everybody had their cameras out. I was like, are you crazy? Like, that man could have been in there and start shooting and everybody got their cameras out. What is wrong with you people? And I think that was
not these people going cool.
I think because I saw it was on St. Bernard. It was.
Girl, it's funny. It's funny to me.
But they're catching.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. That's an echo, sister. You got an echo.
Hold on. I'm trying to find out what's going on. Hold up. Let me back down and come back up. Hold up. Let me fix it. Hold up.
Okay. All right. So here's an update on this.
Sade Robinson.
Police say Robinson was last seen alive on a first date. It is a crime filled with twists and turns. And in 1 week, the trial is expected to start for the accused killer.
Tonight, our Bria Jones has new video, new witness accounts that paint a picture of how we got here.
April 2nd, 2024, a gloomy spring day in Milwaukee County. The waves of Lake Michigan bringing a chilling discovery, a severed human leg in Warnham Hunt Park. The grim finding would unravel the mystery of the disappearance of 19-year-old Sade Carlina Robinson. Prosecutors say Robinson vanished after a first date with 33-year-old.
They had their first date, and he murdered her.
Maxwell Anderson. Unsealed warrants revealed a confidential informant told investigators Anderson planned to kill Robinson.
Oh, it was a CI, guys. We know what a CI is. It was a CI. So coming up when I get back, I have a human trafficking survivor. Her story has been all in the news, and she will be coming on the panel, and we're going to have a conversation. So she will be here, and we're going to bring her up to tell her story. Hi, sister.
I'm back. You can hear me now?
Yep, I hear you and no echo.
Okay, yeah, that was, I came to do this little time and a half right fast at the hospital. So,
That's right. Okay.
It's closed though. It's closed today, but I just came in to sit to make this little easy money right fast. But we have a bet, girl. So who you want to bet on? Because we got a bet going on in New Orleans. So I'm betting on from the ward I'm from, and I'm betting on Van Buren. That them two going to be the last two that get caught.
Okay, so those are the ones that had the murder charges, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, they all have murder charges, but these are the ones that look like the hardened ones. Yeah, I'm going to bet on those two as well. Yeah, I'm going to bet on those two.
Okay, but that's what we got our money.
So y'all are actually
they have a poll on TikTok.
Wait a minute, are you serious? They're actually betting on who's going to be the last two to get caught?
Yes, they have a bet on TikTok and they have a bet on Instagram. All jokes aside, it's called a Parley's bet.
Oh my God. So what if they're not caught? Which they will be sooner or later. But what? They're betting on this? Well,
they are betting that they're going to be the last two.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me take a look at the last 5. Let me read up on them real quick. I'm going to give you my 2. But I think Van Buren might be one of them. I got to look at the other guy, Massey. I need to look at him because I got to see how long did they take him to catch Van Buren the first time. I got to look at all the stats. Look, I got to.
He's from our area. He's from our area, though.
Oh shit!
And remember this. This is his 3rd time.
Oh,
getting out.
He escaped 3 times. Okay. Yep. I got my money on him. Girl, this is crazy. Oh my God.
Oh, girl, they look like all over the world, girl. They're leaving out of there. What's going on?
Idea, but let's finish listening to this one because this guy, you remember the guy that had that he met this chick, took her on a date, and then he had every intention of murdering her. His trial is getting ready to start. So,
seemingly fatal attraction leading to an investigation spanning 2 states and the arrest of Anderson for homicide, arson, and mutilation charges.
This sick son of a is gonna pay.
To understand what happened next, we need to go back to the day before April 1st, 2024. Court records show text messages between Robinson and Anderson between 4:15 p.m. and 5:18 p.m. Anderson texts, "Are you hungry? I need to stop at Twisted Fisherman to pick up my W-2 from last year, and we could eat there first." Robinson responds, "Okay," and "Yes. Are we eating at the Broad House or the other place?" Anderson replies, "Let's eat at Twisted. I'm feeling seafood." Robinson answers, "Yes, I love seafood." Still images from surveillance cameras show the two inside the Twisted Fisherman. Investigators say Robinson had Life 360, a location tracking app. It placed her at Duke's on Water and later at Anderson's Milwaukee home, 39th in Oklahoma. It's the last place Sade's loved ones believe she was seen alive. Her phone pinging at his home until 12:45 a.m. on April 2nd.
Do we know how Sade met Maxwell Anderson?
So from my understanding, it was no dating app. It was a friend of a friend.
Okay, so it wasn't a dating app, but it was out there that they met on a dating app. So it's a friend of a friend that introduced them. Jesus.
My friend that worked at Pizza Shuttle, cousin, was the bouncer at Victor's, which was friends with the bartender who was Maxwell.
Kiki is Robinson's cousin. She hasn't shared her last name publicly, but over the last year, she's led searches for her cousin and pushed for answers. Now, for the
And
first
she's got
time,
an
she's
ass
sharing
on her.
these videos of Robinson the night before she disappeared. Robinson was spotted out at Victor's nightclub, where Anderson was a bartender. You can see part of what appears to be Anderson's distinctive arm tattoo.
Another one of my family members reached out to me, stating that they were at the bar with her, the Easter 31st at Victor's, and that they were having drinks, and they seen her with this man, and then who's described as the demon, who we call him, Maxwell.
Robinson was reported missing by a friend after she didn't show for a shift at Pizza Shuttle on April 2nd. That same morning, Milwaukee police say a car was set on fire near 30th and Lisbon. Detectives later learned it was Sade's vehicle.
I just heard the car crash. And it was a big bang, and I saw the car outside of my window, so I come outside, and by the time I come outside, I see the flames start, and I just see this taller white guy just running away from the car.
In that moment, Ashley Ryder says she didn't realize what she was witnessing.
But I remember his face when he turned around because he looked so shocked, and then I found out a couple days later what was actually going on.
Hours after the car was torched on April 2nd, a man discovered a severed leg with pink toenail polish at Warnimut Park in Cudahy. The same place investigators would later say Robinson's phone was pinging between 3 a.m. and 4:30. April 5th, less than a mile from the car fire. A body part was found in the same area of 30th and Lisbon. April 6th, remains were discovered at 31st and Galena. The next day, more remains were found at 31st and Walnut. At one point, Kiki says she found a blanket with Robinson's face on it lying on the ground in Galena Park.
I looked down and I seen Sade's face just flipped over. And my heart instantly just started to beat, and I just yelled to my sisters, like, I just found her blanket, everybody. And everybody just ran over to me. And then the detectives just showed up. Like, nobody called them, they just showed up. And I told them, like, we just found her blanket. So then they started, like, shutting off the area.
Did you ever find anything else?
I did. I found her bone. And I was about to pass out, and I didn't, because everybody else around me was crying. Like, everybody was emotional. But I can't get emotional because I'm going to break. And if I break, I'm not going to be able to search.
Fox 6 obtained surveillance video from a business near 31st and Walnut. It shows a person with clothing that matches what detectives say Anderson was wearing on a MCTS bus to head home. The
Why
person
would she even go out with somebody that looked like that? Sister, would you date somebody looking like this?
Girl, is you crazy?
appears to be wearing a hoodie and a gray backpack. This is similar to surveillance images in the same area prosecutors shared in the criminal complaint. Days later, Anderson was arrested, making his first court appearance on April 12, 2024.
At this time, we don't believe that there are any other victims out there and that the person who is responsible for this heinous crime has been arrested.
Are you still searching for remains?
Yeah, because they didn't find all of her remains.
Yes, we are.
As detectives used everything from flashlights to sonar boats, Robinson's loved ones searched far and wide with community support.
One day we actually walked 21 miles. That was between there and back. We walked east, we walked west, we walked all the way probably to Racine.
On April 18, 17 days after she was first reported missing, Robinson's torso and arm were found in South Milwaukee. Nearly a month later, her arm washed up on the beach in Waukegan, Illinois.
What are you still searching for?
I'm gonna say her crown.
Yeah, I don't think I have
was still missing. So that's why it's important that we still do all these memorials and stuff so that people don't forget that we still don't have all of her.
To this day, pieces of Sade Carlina Robinson remain lost to the world, a somber reminder that justice still waits in the shadows.
Oh my God.
Bria Jones, Fox 6 News.
So this trial is going to be starting in about a month. Jesus Christ. Okay.
She was too cute for that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, his trial was supposed to start in May. I need to look. His trial was supposed to start in May. May. Next week. It starts next week. It starts next week. All right, sister. I'm sorry, but we had bets. Okay, so I will be I will be checking them out. But Van Buren is from 7th Ward.
No,
Massey is from
Massey.
7th Ward. Okay, do you know any of Massey's family? You do? So what are they saying? Has anybody talked to them?
I knew Van Buren family too.
What? Damn. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we will see, but they still got 5 going. They still got 5. Look, I want to know, have there been searches in Kenner and Metairie and Hammond and other places?
They had searches in Slidell. They had somebody sent them to Slidell. I guess that's what they had this elder lady that they arrested. Poor lady. She didn't. They said she don't watch the news and she didn't know why she was giving the man money when she seen him. But I don't know how that went. I don't know. But they arrested that poor lady. So they had to stop the all in Slidell. But by the time they went out there, they was gone. So that was his trip, to get the money from her and keep it going.
Oh, so she didn't know that he had
So
escaped?
no, that's what they're saying. They're saying that the poor lady didn't know that he escaped. She just gave him money. I guess he went to a side store saying he's hungry. That's an elder lady or older lady. I don't know what's going on, girl, but I'm gonna just say this. They're going to all these different places that people are calling. It's a game. Them boys are gone. They've been out going on 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now. They are gone. These are the older ones. Them little ones that got caught, they wasn't even supposed to be escaping, girl. They just used them as bait.
Oh my God. So what about the lady that said that she was in the car but didn't know these were escaped criminals? Her friend was driving. I said, there's no way she didn't know. I think her last name is Smith. There is no way she didn't know those guys were escaped. They were all over the damn news.
Girl, first of all, you're on the interstate, right? Driving on the interstate. You know the jailhouse is right there on the interstate. If you see a bunch of guys running across the interstate from the jailhouse, what you gonna think? Where they coming from?
What?
You think they're coming from visiting hours running across the interstate?
That's true. Hi, Chichi.
I mean,
good morning.
They just have to make some sense out of this. And like I said, they all cover themselves, but just like they arrested that guy, I know Sterling. I work with his mother at the fairgrounds when I used to work at the fairgrounds, okay? Her name is Aniki. We call her Nikki. Ain't no way this boy had anything to do with that, okay? Susan Hudson, the sheriff, she's trying to put it on everybody in the jail instead of putting it on herself because they want
she
her
said
out of
she
here.
takes full responsibility. So is she going to be fired?
She's taking full responsibility because it's race time and they don't want her in there. They want her to resign now. So at first she was being quiet, okay? She was being quiet. They said these boys escaped since 8 o'clock that night. They lied and said 12 o'clock on the news. Girl, they lied, girl. They said the boys been gone since 8 o'clock. See when we get together, we're going to call our cousin on the phone that works there. And we're going to let her tell us the story, okay?
They said that it took them at least 4 to 5 hours to report the jailbreak.
That's what I'm saying. First of all, like everybody's saying, this is a maximum prison. Where they was at on the first floor, they should have never been on the first floor because these are boys, these men that has been charged with murder. You shouldn't be on the first floor, first of all. Let me just say that. Second of all, they say they only have like 4 deputies trying to work that whole jailhouse. They understaffed. So when one go to lunch, why didn't another one be there to replace that person to watch over everything while you go to lunch? That don't sound crazy and fishy to you?
That's what I was saying. There was no way. I was going to call Olivia and talk with her about it, then I said, hell no, I ain't calling her because that conversation is going to be forever because she should know that jail inside and out.
But guess what? You know, we have a cousin that works in there
Yes,
every
I
day, right?
do.
And we're going to talk to
That's
that
our
person,
cousin's
and you're
daughter.
going to hear what that
Yep.
person has to
But I
say
was going to
too.
call Olivia because she used to be, she used to be on the police force.
Well, you know how long ago
Yeah,
Olivia been
girl, I
working there?
know. But
Just
look. But I wanted her to tell me something. Look, I wanted her to point me in the right direction. But I forgot our cousin's daughter is there. Oh, I
girl,
forgot.
let me tell you.
Completely forgot. But I was like, control tower. Someone else has to take her place. That's a rule.
And the Baptiste girl, she's we know her all
Yeah,
around
she's
too.
not
Okay,
related to us,
let
is
me
she?
just
Because
say
I
that.
know I have Baptiste in my family. I said, who the hell names their daughter Cartvania? Whatever.
Yeah, I know her too. She stays out there, and she might be kin to y'all on your mama's
No,
side because she stays out there in the
no,
place.
no. When I saw the last name Baptiste, I said, no, no, no. We don't know you.
I'm trying to tell you,
Girl,
yeah,
she's from the class.
they had
Wait a
them
minute, she's
boys.
from the class?
Two of them, yeah, she from the place. Two of them, the guys who she was riding around with. Guess where they're from? On our
Yeah.
side, girl. If I show you, I'm gonna show you my camera when we get together tomorrow. The outside
Okay.
camera here, and it's gonna shock your world
He
here
lives over
because
by you?
look like they was in the condo area.
Oh
Okay.
my God. But when I saw the last name Baptiste, I said, wait a minute, she's not related to me. I did. I saw that name. I said, oh no. Oh no.
That's your cousin.
I said, I don't even know you. And now you're telling me she's from the Plass area. Jesus Christ. That's what my grandmother
Girl,
never,
this is wild.
girl. I went to school out there, Cartvania. Who names you Cartvania?
And they call her nickname is Vonnie.
Girl, shut up.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Whew. New Orleans right now is not a good. New Orleans is in shambles right now.
Vonnie is her
nickname that they call her.
Now I'm gonna have to call my sister and ask her, is that the same person that she be hanging with when she goes to Laplace?
Girl, I don't know, sister, but guess what? Them people called from jail and told their people that they're sick in the dog. They're punishing them people because of the ones that broke out. They cut the water off on all of them. They don't have no hot water. They have no clean clothes. And that they're doing a shakedown with the dogs and sicking the dogs on them every other day in the jailhouse, girl. So somebody went to the news and the news went over there. And girl, it's just in shambles out here. It's crazy right now. Okay, but nobody's living in fear. We're not living in fear because they're not here. And they're not gonna be here. They're not gonna find them for a long time. Because they didn't escape before, so they had a plan already. They had a plan.
But what about the
So they might
witnesses?
well stop
What about the
searching.
witnesses? Because some of these guys, well, they were all convicted already. What about the witnesses? So these guys were getting ready to go to Angola, right? Because 4 of them were already convicted.
They're gone. They took when they caught them, they left. When they caught them, they left them right. Where he going? Why he's coming in here? Why you coming here? Why you coming bother me? Huh? Why you coming bother me? I just had my breakfast. Now you come with your coffee. I had my. Hold on, y'all. Let me put you on mute. Just
So
hold on.
anyway, I'm gonna have to call my other sister, and I gotta call my sister in Laplace to see if she knows this woman, Vanya. I have to ask because when I saw the last name Baptiste, I went, wait a minute. Is that my family? No, I hope not. Well, just because we family don't mean shit. Growing up in Milwaukee, yes, sister.
Sister, I want you to meet somebody. You single and he's
I
single.
know
Hold up,
what,
I'm about to turn the
girl.
camera on.
Okay.
Hold on.
doing that to us?
I want you to meet somebody. I'm telling you to hide the name on this shirt.
Oh,
Hold on.
God.
Ready?
Okay. Hi.
Hello, how
That's
are you?
That's her talking
wonderful.
right there.
All right. That's another sister. Okay.
That's my sister.
All
Okay.
right.
2.
Uncomfortable.
He said he can't see nobody. That's
I'm gonna
uncomfortable.
call you after this.
I know. Let me put
I'm
you
gonna
on mute,
call
girl.
you after this.
I'm going mute.
Oh, sister. So Sweets was on the panel yesterday, and I went on panel. Oh, you're talking to whoever that was. Okay. Lord have mercy, my poor sister.
You like? Wait, hold up. One. Stop it. You like what you see, sister?
I'm done with you. I'm done. I'm done with you.
I'm still here. She ain't gonna be mean.
No, she is. She will be. She like me. She gonna tell her how it
Okay.
is.
She ain't gonna be mean
How tall is
in
he,
front of
too?
me.
Look, she can't even catch her breath. She can't catch her breath.
Look, they're going, hey, brother-in-law. They're saying, hey, brother-in-law.
Everybody talking to her. They're saying, hey, brother-in-law. Hey, brother-in-law.
Don't have me up in there blushing. I'm a gangster. Come on now.
People don't have him in here blustered. He a gangster.
Oh, you a gangster? I need a gangster. I need a gangster.
Girl, he ain't no gangster, girl.
He a gangster with a job. Okay, I got you, gangster.
Here, brother-in-law.
I can't with this. I did not.
You got to meet him, sister.
I have to meet him? Okay.
This good people.
Okay.
Yeah, you know I only do good people for you.
So does he cook?
He can't see me no more. I got it on. I got the camera off.
I can't
Does
see
he cook?
Oh, he said he can't see you, but you'll see her once we get off the panel. She gonna call me
Yeah,
with her
okay,
face.
sister.
What you say?
Does he cook?
Did you cook?
You know I'm a chef.
Oh, he's a chef. I forgot he told me that he was a
Does
chef.
he have his own place?
Yes, he does.
How many baby mamas he have?
I don't have baby mamas.
Oh.
I have ex-wives.
Oh, how many ex-wives? Okay, this is good. How many ex-wives?
I have
two.
I have two
Oh, I see.
ex-wives.
I have two ex-husbands.
That's what happens when you
Okay.
don't know how to
So,
act.
okay, we're one in the same
All right.
race then.
Comments.
Okay, so we've got two ex-husbands, two ex-wives. How many kids?
Two.
How old are they?
I don't have baby mamas. Like I tell people, I don't have baby mamas. I have ex-wives.
Just gonna tell you how old the churn is. How old are you, Jones?
I'm 54.
Okay,
54.
so the kids are what?
My
18,
children are
19,
grown.
17, 18?
My children are grown. I borrow money from them.
Oh no, he said his kids are grown.
Okay, we got that. See, I like when he said, I don't have baby mamas. That's what my sons say. They have ex-girlfriends or ex-wives. I love that. I like that. Okay, so what part of New Orleans do you live in?
I live in Slidell.
Slidell.
I live in Lakeshore.
So what do you like to do for fun?
I go to work.
That's it? That's all you do is go to work.
I hang out with my family sometimes. We'll go to a cigar bar or something like that, or it's not a whole. It's a whole laid back type of thing with me.
See, I like laid back. Okay, I think we've got a match, sister. Is laid back. Okay, he's got a bald head, right? He's got a bald head. Okay, how tall are you?
It's almost all gone.
How tall are you, Jones?
I'm right at 6 feet
we got
on
a
a good
match.
day.
It's a match. Okay, it's a match. Okay, so you have your own place. You a chef. You can cook. You have two kids. And you have your own vehicle.
Yes, he does.
I'm just checking because
What grown person do you know that don't have these things?
There's a lot of people that are grown that don't have these things. There's a lot of people.
I need y'all to switch your circles up a bit.
There's a lot of people don't have these things. Look. I just need to make sure that you know there's a vibe here.
All right, just send me a picture. That way I ain't gotta look through my picture. Just send me a picture right now so I can show him a
Oh my
picture of you right now on my
God. I'm
phone.
gonna
That's
send
all
you
you
my
need to do.
most recent picture.
And
Matter of fact, I
then
took the other day. Okay, so anyway, uh yeah, so I think that's what's gonna do. And if you see
nervous.
sister, when I send you this picture, you're gonna crack up laughing, okay? I'm gonna send you this picture of me, and I want you to show it to him so he can tell me if he's interested.
You better not send no damn stupid picture. Because I'm gonna pull up one of the real pictures if
Oh
you send
shit,
up a
you can
stupid
show the
picture.
real one then. But there's the picture right there.
He can see your picture right here. Oh yeah, you can see her face on here. Oh, that's too small.
That is too small. I don't have my
Okay.
glasses on.
He don't have his glasses on.
Okay, sister, look at your phone.
She's so stupid. She looks just like me, but she got cat eyes. Just like me. I'm gonna show you. It ain't come through yet. If she says something stupid, I'm a you can tell her how she laughing. She laughing too hard. She laughing too hard.
I sent a
You
picture of some monkey with lipstick on.
don't send no. I know what you about to send. Girl, don't do that. Cause you're laughing hard. I know what you about to send. You do not send that picture. I'm muting her. I'm muting her. Tell him what you sending.
So if he's interested,
No.
we can.
Don't do that,
I'm
girl.
telling you.
Send your picture, or I'm gonna pull up the picture and show him. I got the pictures in my phone.
And show him.
I'm on live.
Okay, well, I'm gonna call you right after this because I'm getting off. But yeah, that's me in all my glory.
That's why I didn't come.
Oh, girl, I sent a picture of Lisa. Let me stop. Okay, I'm going. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send my picture. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna send this one. I'm just y'all gotta stop. But anyway, George is gonna be going live, and I can't wait for this live. So hi Jalapeno. I love that name. Jalapeno Ho. I like that. We got another pepper. I sent the picture of Lisa. Yeah, the smelly looking picture. Okay, guys. Do not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Have a safe day. Let's keep all of the fallen soldiers in our memory. And guys, I would definitely, I will be gone. So you guys have a nice day. And I am so mean. Have a good day. I'll see you guys in Georgia's. Bye.